Hello everyone, I'm Doris from Susan's family. Today, I will teach you how to make the Whirlwind series Swan Lake music box. This music box consists of 3 parts: the box cover, the swan, and assembly. First, complete the box cover and the swan. Then finish the assembly last. Let's start with the making method of the box cover. The box cover begins with an adjustable magic ring, and is crocheted in rounds counterclockwise. After completion, you need to sew acrylic diamonds on it, and insert a ribbon for decoration. Several crochet stitches will be applied, all of which are marked on the chart. I won't list them one by one here. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Before we start crocheting, let's learn the proper posture for crocheting. Since the yarn is special, before starting the magic ring, first process about 30 centimeters of the yarn. To make it easier to close the magic ring later, you need to cut off all the sequins on this section. Be careful not to cut the yarn itself. After cutting, then proceed with crocheting. For a clearer demonstration, I will use cotton yarn here. The colors are random. For specific yarn details, please refer to the detail page of our product. Let's start with an adjust ball magic ring. Pick up the yarn tail with your right hand. Wrap it twice around your left index finger. Since we need to crochet more stitches in the magic ring, you can make this loop a bit looser. Make the loop bigger. Now there are 3 strands of yarn on your left index finger. Pinch the overlapping part of the loops with your right thumb and index finger. Take it out. Then wrap the yarn tail once around your left little finger. Pass it through between your middle finger and index finger. Transfer the loop to between your left middle finger and thumb. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Insert it into the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Draw the yarn through. Now there is 1 loop on your hook. Continue with a chain to secure. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the loop. 1 chain is completed. Tighten. The magic ring is now complete. Next, crochet the first round. Start with 3 chains for the beginning. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. 1, 2, 3. These 3 chains count as 1 double crochet. Then make 1 double crochet. Yarn over. Insert into the magic ring. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Now you have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Draw through the first 2 loops. Now you have 2 loops left. Yarn over again, and draw through once. 1 double crochet is completed. This corresponds to a V-shaped braid at the top, right? This is the stitch of the double crochet. Now make another double crochet. Yarn over. Insert into the next stitch. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. You now have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again. Draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this 2 times. Once. And twice. The second double crochet is completed. Counting the turning chain, you have now crocheted 3 stitches. In the first round, you need to crochet a total of 24 double crochets into the magic ring. Continue to complete the remaining double crochets. After that, close the magic ring. There will be 2 loops. If the loop position is not very noticeable here, you can first move the completed double crochets to the right. Then gently pull the cast-on tail. One of the loops will be movable. Tighten the movable loop. There will be 1 loop remaining. Directly tighten the tail end. This way, the loop is closed properly. Everyone can check the stitch count for the first round. The number of stitches you have is the number of hooks you made, including the beginning chain. This gives you the final total stitch count. After verifying that the stitch count matches the chart, pick up the top 2 strands of the third chain from the beginning chain. That is, these 2 strands. Join with a slip stitch. Insert the hook into, yarn over, draw the yarn through, and draw through all loops on the hook once. The slip stitch is completed. This is the braid formed by the slip stitch. The slip stitch doesn't count as a stitch. It needs to be tightened to avoid adding extra stitches later. Like this, the first round is completed. Now let's move on to the second round. Start with 3 chains as a turning chain. These 3 chains count as 1 double crochet, then make 1 chain for an interval. Next, work 1 double crochet in the adjacent stitch. Note that the stitch here is slightly puckered due to the slip stitch. Pay attention and make sure not to skip any stitches. Make sure to insert the hook in the correct position. After completing it, make 1 chain for an interval. For this round, work into the stitches from the previous round. 1 double crochet for each stitch. Between the double crochets, add 1 chain as an interval. Follow this pattern to complete the entire round. After finishing the last double crochet, make 1 more chain. Then pick up the top 2 strands of the third braid from the beginning chain. Join with a slip stitch. And pull tight. That's it. The second round is now complete. Next, move on to the third round. First, adjust the starting position. Transition with a slip stitch. Insert the hook into the adjacent chain space. Make 1 slip stitch. Pay attention, everyone. Here, the slip stitch is represented by an oval solid dot symbol, which means you do not need to pull tight. Now, the yarn tail has been adjusted to the starting position. Begin crocheting. Start with 3 chains as a substitute for the first double crochet. These 3 chains count as 1 double crochet. The next 3 chains at the starting position also count as 1 double crochet. I won't repeat this explanation going forward. Next, in the same chain space below, make another double crochet. After completing, make 1 slip stitch. Then in the same chain space below, make 2 double crochets. After completing, skip the next chain space below. In the second chain space on the left, make 2 double crochets. After completing, make 1 slip stitch. Then in the same chain space, make 2 more double crochets. We consider these 4 double crochets and 1 slip stitch as one pattern A. In this round, work into the chain spaces from the previous round, repeating 12 pattern A's. Between each pattern A, skip the next chain space below. Follow the pattern to complete this round. After completing the last pattern A, pick up the top of the third braid from the beginning chain. Join with a slip stitch and pull tight. Now, take a look. This is what it looks like after completing the third round. After finishing this round, measure the dimension from the center to the edge of the third round, referring to the chart for size. If there's a significant difference from the chart, when crocheting the following rounds, pay attention to adjusting your tension. Next, we'll work on the fourth round. Again, adjust the starting position first, and insert the hook into the adjacent double crochet stitch. Make 1 slip stitch. Then insert the hook into the adjacent chain space. Make 1 slip stitch. Let me emphasize again. The slip stitches marked with an oval solid dot symbol do not need to be tightened. I won't repeat this in the following steps. Now the yarn tail is at the starting position. Begin crocheting. In this chain space, crochet pattern A. After completing it, make 1 chain interval. Then in the left chain space, crochet pattern A. This round, you will crochet pattern A in the chain spaces from the previous round's pattern A. Crochet pattern A with 1 chain interval between each pattern A. Complete this round. After finishing the last pattern A, make 1 chain. Then, join with a slip stitch into the beginning chain. Pull tight. This way, the fourth round is completed. Now, let's move on to the fifth round. First, adjust the starting position. Then crochet pattern A in this chain space. After completing it, make 2 chains. Then in the chain space between 2 pattern A from the previous round, make a single crochet, insert the hook into the chain space, yarn over, and draw the yarn through. Now there are 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, and draw through the 2 loops on the hook. 1 single crochet is completed. This corresponds to the V-shaped braid at the top, right? This is the stitch of a single crochet. After completing, make 2 chains. We consider these 4 chains and 1 single crochet as group 1. In the next chain space, make pattern A. Then, make another group 1. Start with 2 chains. Next, insert the hook into the adjacent chain space, and make a single crochet, insert, yarn over, draw the yarn through, yarn over, and draw through all the loops on the hook. Then, make 2 chains. This round consists of repeating pattern A and group 1. Pattern A is crocheted in the chain space of the previous round's pattern A. The single crochet of group 1 is made in the chain space between 2 pattern A from the previous round. Follow the pattern, and complete this round according to the chart. After completing the last group 1, join with a slip stitch to the beginning chain. And pull tight. This way, the 5th round is completed. Now move on to the 6th round. First, adjust the starting position. Similarly, crochet 1 pattern A in this chain space. After completing it, make 3 chains. Then, work into the single crochet stitches of the previous round's group 1. Crochet 1 single crochet. Then make 3 chains. We consider these 6 chains and 1 single crochet as one group 2. This round consists of repeating pattern A and group 2. The single crochet of group 2 is worked into the single crochet stitch of the previous round's group 1. Everyone, refer to the chart to complete this round. After completing the last group 2, join with a slip stitch to the beginning chain. Pull tight. This way, the 6th round is completed. After completing this round, compare the size of the crochet piece with the music box. Align the edges of the crochet piece with the edges of the box lid. Now, let's work on the 7th round. First, adjust the starting position as usual. After completing the adjustment, make 1 chain as the turning chain for the single crochet. This turning chain doesn't count as 1 stitch. Then, work 1 single crochet into this chain space. Next, make 7 chains as the interval. After completing that, pick up the chain space of the adjacent group from the previous round. Work 1 single crochet. Then, make another 7 chains as the interval. In this round, you will work 1 single crochet into each chain space of pattern A from the previous round. Between each single crochet, make 7 chains as the interval. Follow this pattern for the rest. Finish this round following the pattern. After completing the last 7 chains, pick up the first single crochet stitch and join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. This completes the 7th round. Next, work on the 8th round. First, adjust the starting position. Then, make 3 chains as the beginning chain. After completing that, work 1 single crochet into this chain space, then work 9 double crochets. Including the beginning chain, that makes 10 double crochets here. In this round, you will work 10 double crochets into each chain space from the previous round. Complete this round following the pattern. After finishing the last stitch, join with a slip stitch to the beginning chain. Pull tight. Now, take a look. This is what it looks like after completing the 8th round. Now, move on to the 9th round. First, adjust the starting position. Then, make 2 chains as the beginning chain. After that, work a chain as an interval. Skip the first stitch below. Work 1 double crochet into the second stitch on the left. Next, work a chain as an interval. Then skip the next stitch below. Work 1 double crochet into the second stitch on the left. Work a chain as an interval. Then, skip the next stitch below. Work 1 double crochet into the second stitch on the left. After that, work a chain as an interval. The next stitch is a double crochet 3 stitches together. Skip the next stitch below. Start from the second stitch on the left. Pick up the next 3 stitches here. Work an incomplete double crochet into each of these 3 stitches. Yarn over with a hook. Insert the hook. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again. Pull through the first 2 loops. This completes the first incomplete double crochet. Now work the second one. Yarn over with a hook. Insert into the adjacent stitch. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. Yarn over again, pull through the first 2 loops. This completes the second incomplete double crochet. Continue with the third one. Yarn over again. Pull through all the loops on the hook. In this way, 1 double crochet, 3 stitches together is completed. From now on, I'll refer to this as DC3 tog. Next, make a chain. After that, work 3 double crochets. Between each double crochet, add a chain as a spacer, and skip 1 stitch below each time. Finish with a chain. The next stitch is a DC3 tog. Skip 1 stitch below. Start from the second stitch on the left side. Work these 3 stitches here. Each make an incomplete double crochet. One, 2, 3. Yarn over. Draw through all the loops on the hook once. Another DC3 tog is completed. This round involves working double crochets and clusters into the stitches from the previous round. Add a chain between each stitch as a spacer, and skip 1 stitch below each time. Refer to the chart to complete this round. After completing the last double crochet, make 1 chain. The next stitch is a double crochet decrease. First, insert the hook into the last stitch of the previous round and the turning chain. Each make an incomplete double crochet. One, 2. Then yarn over. Draw through all the loops on the hook once. 1 double crochet decrease is now complete. Next, pick up the 2 strands of the second braid from the starting chain. Join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. Everyone, take a look. This is what it looks like after completing the 9th round. Since we need to switch colors for the next round, we will use this yarn again later. Do not cut it off. Let's secure the yarn tail. Simply enlarge the loop. Then pass the ball of yarn through the loop. Pull the yarn tight. This way, the yarn tail is secured. We call this yarn the main color yarn. Now let's work on the 10th round. First, join the yarn. Take out the corresponding yarn. We call this the contrasting color yarn. Here, the colors are random. Please refer to the chart for details. Make a slip knot. Leave about 5 centimeters of yarn tail. Hang the yarn tail on your left hand. Insert the hook into the starting position of the 9th round. The chain space on the left side. Draw the loop through. Adjust slightly. The joining is now complete. Then work 1 chain as the beginning chain for the single crochet. Next, insert the hook into the chain space below and make 1 single crochet. Insert. Place the yarn tail above the hook. Give the yarn tail a slight pull. After completing, skip the first stitch below. Insert the hook into the second stitch from the left, and work 5 double crochets into the same stitch. That is, work 5 double crochets into the same stitch. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. You have now completed 5 double crochets into the same stitch. Next, skip the first chain space below. Insert the hook into the second chain space from the left, which is the chain space to the right of the cluster from the previous round. Work 1 single crochet. Then work 3 chains. After completing, work another single crochet into the chain space on the left. We can consider these 2 single crochets and 3 chains as 1 cluster 3. Next, in the second double crochet stitch from the left, work 5 double crochets into the same stitch. For this round, you will be working 5 double crochets into 1 stitch, alternating with cluster 3 in sequence. Refer to the chart to complete this round. After completing the last set of 5 double crochets into 1 stitch, work 1 single crochet into the second chain space from the left. Then, work 3 chains. After completing them, insert the hook into the first single crochet stitch and join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. This way, the 10th round is completed. For the next round, you also need to switch colors. Here, use the same method to secure the yarn tail. Then, move on to round 11. Insert the hook into the starting position of round 10, specifically the first double crochet stitch on the left side. Hold the reserved main color yarn in your left hand and pull through. Then, make 3 chains as the beginning chain. After completing them, insert the hook into the adjacent stitch and work 1 double crochet. The next stitch is a DC 3-in-1, which means working 3 double crochets into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3. This way, you have completed 1 DC 3-in-1. Next, work 2 double crochets into the adjacent stitch, working even, no increase or decrease. We consider these 4 double crochets and 1 DC 3-in-1 as one pattern B. Then, make 1 chain. After completing, pick up the chain space below and work 1 single crochet. Then, make 1 chain. We consider these 2 chains and 1 single crochet as one group 4. Continue crocheting. Work 2 double crochets into the adjacent stitch, working even. Next, work 1 DC 3-in-1 into the adjacent stitch. After completing, work 2 more double crochets, working even. Another pattern B is completed. This round consists of pattern B and group 4, worked in sequence. Refer to the chart to complete this round. After completing the last group 4, join with a slip stitch into the beginning chain. Pull tight. Since we need to switch colors next and won't be using this color anymore, you can cut off the yarn tail here, secure with a chain. Leave a tail of about 5 centimeters. Cut the yarn. Pull tight. This way, the 11th round is now completed. Start the 12th round. Insert the hook into the beginning chain of the previous round. Draw out the reserved contrasting color yarn. Start by making 3 beginning chains. Next, pick up the stitches from the pattern B of the previous round. Work even with double crochets. After completing, make 1 cluster 1. Start with 2 chains. Then pick up the single crochet stitch below. Make 1 single crochet. Then make 2 more chains. After completing, continue to work double crochets, one stitch to another. This round involves picking up the stitches from the pattern B of the previous round. Work even with double crochets. Make one cluster 1 between each group of double crochets. Refer to the chart to complete this round. After completing the last cluster 1, join with a slip stitch into the beginning chain. Pull tight. Finally, make one chain to secure. Leave a tail of about 5 centimeters and cut the yarn. Weave in the yarn tail following the texture to the wrong side of the fabric. Work several stitches to hide the tail, and then trim off any excess. Use the same method to hide all the yarn tails here. Also hide the starting yarn tail. This way, round 12 is completed. The box cover is now crocheted. Next, we will add decorations. The decorations include acrylic rhinestones and ribbons. First, let's sew the acrylic rhinestones. Sew the round acrylic rhinestones in the indented positions, along the edge of the last round. Attach the circular acrylic rhinestones in these indented areas on the last round edge. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific sewing method. Cut a length of sewing thread. The length of the thread can be determined based on your own sewing preference. Thread it into a yarn needle. Tie a knot at the end of the thread. Insert the needle from a short stitch position in round 11. Draw the needle through. Thread an acrylic rhinestone onto the needle. Then insert the needle into the adjacent position above. Insert the needle into the middle of the thread. Pull tight. Then insert the needle into a short stitch in round 12. Next, thread the needle through the other hole of the acrylic rhinestone. This way, one acrylic rhinestone is sewn on. Then transition the thread from the wrong side to an adjacent dent. Use the same method to secure the acrylic rhinestone. Everyone can use this method to sew all 12 acrylic rhinestones in this round. After completing, tie off and weave in the ends on the wrong side. Now let's thread the ribbon. The smooth side of the ribbon is the right side. Keep the right side facing out. Insert from the right side of any cluster in round 9. Come out on the left side. Skip 1 double crochet, insert from the right side of the middle double crochet. Come out on the left side. Then skip 1 more double crochet, and insert from the right side of this cluster. Come out on the left side. Repeat this process all around this round. There will be one last cluster remaining. Insert from the right side. Come out on the left side. Then adjust the ribbon so that both ends have the same length. And tie a bow. Finally, trim the ribbon to your desired length. Cut at an angle. After cutting, use a lighter or candle to lightly singe the edges of the ribbon. This way, the decorative part of the box cover is completed. Next, we'll make the swans. There will be 2 of them. Each one consists of the body and wings, the mouth and head accessory, making 4 parts in total. The making method for the first 3 parts is exactly the same, only the head accessory part differs. First, crochet the body, then make the wings, followed by creating the mouth, and finally complete the head accessory part. Let's start with crocheting the body. Use double strands held together for crocheting, and pull out the end of the thread from the middle of the yarn ball. Combine it with the yarn tail from the outside of the yarn ball to make 1 strand. That is, treat these 2 threads as 1 strand for crocheting. For convenience in watching, I will still use 1 strand of cotton yarn for demonstration. In the following demonstration, when I say 1 strand of yarn, it actually refers to these 2 strands treated as 1. I won't repeat this explanation later. The body starts with an adjustable magic ring, and crochet in rounds counterclockwise for the required number of rounds. Let's take a look at the chart. In the chart, round indicates the round number. The stitch instructions column shows the stitch patterns needed for crocheting the current round, as well as any increases or decreases in stitches. The stitch count column shows the total stitch count for the current round. After all the stitches have been completed, the stitch techniques used include X single crochet, V single crochet increase, and a single crochet decrease. Now, please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Since the swan is crocheted in spirals, it can be difficult to distinguish between rounds. While crocheting, make sure to mark the first stitch promptly. Therefore, before we start crocheting, cut a piece of thinner yarn in a different color from the swan. The length should be about 20 centimeters. Cut it and set aside for later use. Start with an adjustable magic ring. After completing the magic ring, begin crocheting the first round. Round 1 is 6x. The number before x indicates how many single crochets to make. This means you will crochet 6 single crochets into the magic ring. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. After completing, close the magic ring. Since we are using the spiral crochet method, you just follow the stitch pattern on the chart for each round. This way, the first round is completed. Next, crochet the second round. Before starting, mark the position of the first stitch. Take out the yarn tail prepared earlier. Place it in the middle position between the beginning and ending stitches. Round 2 is X, V, *3. The parentheses indicate a group. The asterisk indicates the number of times to repeat the pattern. Start with 1 single crochet. As you crochet, place the yarn tail above the hook, and hide it as you work. Then, make a single crochet increase in the adjacent stitch. That is, crochet 2 single crochets into the same stitch. One, 2. This way, 1 single crochet increase is done. The X, V pattern is completed. Let me demonstrate it one more time. Start with 1 single crochet. Then make a single crochet increase. This is the second time. You need to repeat the X, V pattern 3 times in this round. Only one more repeat left. Like this, the second round is completed. The starting tail has already been hidden for 1 round. It can be cut off now. There is a height difference between the beginning and end when crocheting in spirals. This is normal. Next, we will work on the third round. Place the yarn marker from back to front. Position it in the middle between the first and last stitches. Start crocheting. Round 3 consists of 3x, X, V, *3. Work even and crochet 3 single crochets first. Then crochet the stitch pattern in the parentheses. Repeat this pattern 3 times. This way, the third round is completed. You can check the stitch count now. You will notice that the texture on the right side is clearer, while the texture on the wrong side is blurry. When crocheting, keep the right side always facing you. Next, let's work the fourth round. Place one of the yarn marker tails at the back. Work even and crochet 3 single crochets first. Then crochet the stitch pattern in the parentheses. Repeat this pattern 3 times. Pay attention. The increase placement should follow the stitch pattern order in the chart. Do not adjust it arbitrarily. This way, the 4th round is now completed. Now, let me show you how to count the rounds. On the right side of the fabric, you will see raised textures as your guide. Avoid the starting position. Start from the foundation chain round. Count how many of these textured rounds there are. That indicates how many rounds have been completed. You can see there are 4 textured rounds now. This means 4 rounds have been crocheted. Continue crocheting. Place the yarn marker at the front before continuing to crochet. For the first stitch position of each subsequent round, make sure to adjust the yarn marker first. I won't repeat this instruction. For rounds 5 through 7, start by working 3 single crochets evenly. After completing these, repeat the stitch pattern in parentheses 3 times. Just refer to the chart and crochet them accordingly. Take a look. This is what it looks like after completing the first 7 rounds. Next, crochet rounds 8 through 13. Refer to the chart rounds 8-13. Work evenly for 24 single crochets. This means starting from round 8, 1 single crochet in each stitch. Each round will have 24 stitches. Continue until the end of round 13. For any subsequent rounds with this format, the meaning remains the same. Remember to adjust the yarn marker for the first stitch of each round. Everyone, finish these rounds. Take a look. This is what it looks like after completing the first 13 rounds. Next, we'll crochet round 14. Start by working 6 single crochets evenly. Then, make 1 single crochet decrease. Let's get familiar with the stitch. One stitch looks like this: 2 strands of yarn. The strand closer to you is the front loop. The strand farther from you is the back loop. First, insert your hook into the front loop of the adjacent stitch. Then, insert your hook into the front loop of the left stitch. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over. Pull through the first 2 loops. You now have 2 loops remaining. Yarn over again, and draw through once. The single crochet decrease is completed. This method of picking up only the front loops for decreasing is called an invisible decrease. Using this technique to decrease, the gaps between stitches are smaller. It results in a more delicate fabric overall. Work 6 single crochets downward. Then make one single crochet decrease. Insert your hook through the front loops of the next two adjacent stitches on the left. Yarn over. Pull through the first two loops. Repeat this process 2 times. Once. Twice. Another single crochet decrease is completed. Then work 6 single crochets. After that, make one more single crochet decrease. Like this. The 14th round is completed. For the next 15th to 16th rounds, just follow the chart and work one single crochet in each stitch. Look. This is what it looks like after completing the first 16 rounds. Now you can start stuffing with cotton stuffing. I will demonstrate the stuffing method. Fluff up the stuffing. Stuff it in. You can use a crochet hook to assist. Once it's loosely stuffed, pinch the curvy side to shape it. For the opening part, start with a small amount of stuffing. When crocheting later, stuff as you go while crocheting. This is the stuffing method. For rounds 17 to 19, follow the pattern chart for crocheting. The stitch techniques have all been demonstrated earlier. Remember to stuff with cotton stuffing as you crochet. Take a look. This is what it looks like after completing the first 19 rounds. For rounds 20 to 37, work single crochets evenly. Just follow the pattern chart for crocheting. After completing round 21, you need to add the shaping wire. Here is a sample after finishing round 21. I will demonstrate how to add the shaping wire using this sample. First, cut a piece of shaping wire about 10 centimeters long. Insert one end into the body of the swan. Push it in about 2 centimeters. This way, the shaping wire is added. Then continue crocheting. Work even all the way down to round 37. Note that, from here all the way to round 37, there's no need to stuff any cotton stuffing. Just wrap the shaping wire as you crochet. Look, this is what it looks like after completing up to round 37. For the final rounds from 38 to 41, just follow the pattern chart to complete. While crocheting these rounds, you need to stuff with cotton stuffing to make the head more firmly stuffed. When there's just one round left, cut off the excess shaping wire. After completing the last stitch, leave about a 10 centimeters yarn tail and cut it off. Directly pull the yarn tail through and tighten it. Then thread the reserved yarn tail onto a darning needle. the marked yarn tail can be removed. Pick up the front half stitch of the last round, one by one. Then pull tight all at once. Pass the excess yarn tail through adjacent stitches several times. Tie a knot. Hide the yarn tail inside the swan. Press the closing area to lay it flat. Cut off the excess yarn. This way, the body section is completed. Next, we will make the wings. There are two parts, wing 1 and wing 2. Let's start with the crochet method for wing 1. Begin with a chain. Work back and forth for a certain number of rows. The new stitch techniques used include single crochet through the front loop only, slip stitch through the front loop only, half double crochet in the single loop near the wrong side only, and combining 5 single crochets into one stitch. Please watch my demonstration. First, let's start with casting on. Hold the yarn with your left hand. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Position it below the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Use your left thumb and middle finger to pinch the crossing point of the loop. Put the hook on the left side of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This slip knot does not count as a stitch. Slightly tighten it. Now, start crocheting chains. Continue all the way until you have the required number of stitches for the foundation chain. Take a look. This is what it looks like after completing the foundation chain. Next, we will crochet the first row. Start with one chain to begin. Now, let's get familiar with the chain. On the right side, the chain forms a V-shaped braid. Pick up the second to last back loop of the chain with the hook. That is, this single strand. Make one slip stitch. Then pick up the back loop of the adjacent chain. Work single crochets into each stitch correspondingly. Continue until there is only one chain position left. Reach the corresponding position. Now, there is only one chain remaining. Make one slip stitch into this last chain. And that's it. The first row is now completed. Next, let's work on the second row. Start with one beginning chain. Then turn the workpiece counterclockwise. For this row, pick up only the front loops for crocheting. Pick up the front loop with the hook. Work one single crochet. This creates the single crochet through the front loop only. Continue to work 5 more of these downward. After completing them, the next 2 stitches are slip stitch through the front loop only. That is, pick up the front loops of adjacent stitches and work 2 slip stitches in sequence. After completing them, make 3 chains. Now, the second row is completed. Next, let's work on the third row. Start with 1 beginning chain. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. Pick up the half loop of the second chain from the hook. Work 1 slip stitch. Then pick up the half loops above adjacent chains and work 2 single crochets in sequence. After completing them, you will work single crochet through the front loop only. For this row, work into the back loops only. That is, the strand farther away from you. Work 6 single crochet through the front loop only in sequence. There are 2 stitches remaining. Work 1 slip stitch through the front loop on these 2 stitches. Now, the third row is completed. Continue crocheting. First, make 1 chain to start. Then turn the workpiece counterclockwise. For each row of the wing section, start with 1 chain and turn the workpiece counterclockwise. I won't repeat this for subsequent rows. For rows 4 through 6, rows 4 and 6 are worked into the front loops. Row 5 is worked into the back loops. Just follow the stitch pattern on the chart. Now, take a look. This is what it looks like after completing the first 6 rows. Next, we'll work on row 7. First, follow the chart to work the corresponding stitches. Continue until you have 7 stitches left. When you reach this position, the next 3 stitches are half double crochet in the single loop near the wrong side only. Watch me demonstrate. Yarn over, insert into the back loop. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, and draw through all 3 loops on the hook. 1 half double crochet stripe stitch is completed. Move on to the second one. Yarn over, insert the hook. Yarn over and draw the yarn through. Yarn over, and draw through all the loops on the hook. The second stitch is completed. Continue with the third stitch. There are 4 stitches remaining. Everyone refer to the pattern and crochet. After completing the last stitch, make 1 beginning chain. Then work a single crochet decrease over the next 5 stitches. Insert the hook into the insertion point of the last slip stitch in row 7. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. Insert the hook into the beginning chain position of row 6. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Then insert the hook into the beginning chain position of row 4. Draw the yarn through. Next, insert the hook into the beginning chain position of row 2. Draw the yarn through. Finally, insert the hook into the insertion point of the slip stitch in row 1. Draw the yarn through. Now there are 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over, draw through all 6 loops on the hook at once. Complete 5 single crochets into 1 stitch. Finally, crochet 1 chain to secure. Leave a tail of about 5 centimeters. Break the yarn. Pull tight. We will consider the striped side as the right side of the wing. Hide the yarn tail along the texture on the wrong side of the wing. After weaving in a few more stitches, cut the yarn. Hide the starting tail in the same way. This way, wing 1 is completed. Next, sew a round of seed beads along the edge of the finished wing for decoration. Cut a length of sewing thread. Thread it through a darning needle. Tie a knot at the end of the thread. Then insert the needle into any position along the edge of the wing. Pass the needle back up through the middle of the thread tail. Pull tight. Then start threading the seed beads. Ensure you have enough seed beads to go around the edge of the wing. Fit well as you go. After completing the round around the edge of the wing, insert the needle at the starting position. Pull tight. Then secure the seed beads in place with a round of stitching. Pick up the yarn on the wrong side of the wing for transition. Exit about 1 centimeter apart. Hold the thread in the middle of the seed beads. Insert the needle. Continue to pick up the yarn on the wrong side of the wing for transition. Exit about 1 centimeter apart. Hold the thread in the middle of the seed beads. Insert the needle. Everyone continues with this method to secure and complete this round. For the straight part above the wing, the interval distance can be larger. For other areas with a curve, the interval distance should be slightly shorter. Secure and complete this round. After completion, tie off and weave in the ends on the wrong side of the wing. Cut off any excess tails. This way, the seed bead decoration is completed. Next, let's decorate with acrylic stones. One wing requires one round acrylic stone and 3 oval-shaped acrylic stones. First, apply glue to the back of the round acrylic stone. Attach it to the front rounded part of the wing. Next, apply glue to the back of the 3 oval-shaped acrylic stones. Arrange them around the round acrylic stone and secure them firmly. Now, take a look. This is what the wing looks like after the decoration is completed. Next, let's look at wing 2. The stitch technique is the same as for wing 1, only the insertion position differs. I'll use this sample to explain the positions that need attention. Start with a foundation chain. Then work on the first row. Here, when crocheting, you need to pick up the strand of yarn closest to you and crochet into it. For the following second row, 4th row, and 6th row, crochet into the back loop of the stitches only. For the 3rd row, 5th row, and 7th row, crochet into the front loop of the stitches only. For all the chain positions, pick up the strand of yarn closest to you and crochet into it. Refer to the chart to complete wing 2. Similarly, treat the side with stripes as the right side of the wing. After completing it, follow the method used for wing 1. Decorate with seed beads and acrylic stones. Once both wings are completed, sew them onto the body of the swan next. Cut a length of sewing thread, and thread the needle. Tie off the yarn tail. Ensure the right side of the wing faces out. Position the curved part of the wing facing forward. Align the tail end of the wing with the tail end of the body. Sew the curved part of the wing securely to the body. After sewing this section, you can sew back over it once more for added security. Once completed, tie off again. Weave in the yarn tail inside the swan's body. Trim any excess yarn tails. Use the same method to sew the other wing, on the opposite side in a symmetrical position. Sew it on the other side in a symmetrical position. Next, we will make the swan's mouth. The mouth consists of a crocheted part, and a non-woven fabric part. First, complete the crocheted part. Start with 3 chains. After completing, make 1 beginning chain. Then insert the hook into the top loop of the second chain from the hook, which is a half stitch. Make 1 slip stitch. There are 2 chains remaining. Insert the hook into the top loops of these 2 chains, which are half stitches. Make 1 slip stitch and 1 single crochet in sequence. Finally, make 1 chain to secure. Leave a tail of about 15 centimeters for sewing. Break the yarn. Pull tight. This way, the crocheted part of the mouth is completed. Hide the starting tail on the wrong side of the fabric. Next, sew the mouth onto the swan's head. Insert the needle into the reserved yarn tail. Insert the needle into the position underneath the last round of the swan. Sew a few stitches to secure. After completing, tie off and weave in the ends. Trim any excess tails. Next, we will work on the non-woven fabric part. First, cut out a triangle with all 3 sides approximately 1 centimeter. Then trim one of the sides. Slightly cut out a protruding curve. Then trim the other 2 sides slightly as well. Trim them into slightly concave curves. After trimming, apply glue to the non-woven fabric. Attach it to the side of the sewn mouth. Next, on the symmetrical position on the other side, stick another piece of non-woven fabric of the same size. This way, the mouth section is complete. Next, we will make the head decoration. The head decorations for the two swans are different. One is a crown and the other is a top hat. Let's start with the method to make the crown. The crown begins with a foundation chain. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise from the center outward. Watch as I demonstrate. First, cast on. Start by making 6 chains. After completing them, form a ring with the chains. Pick up the half loop at the top of the first chain. Make 1 slip stitch. Pull tight. This way, the beginning chain is completed. Next, crochet the first round. Start by making 2 chains. Then work 1 chain to begin. After that, pick up the half loops at the top of these 2 chains, and make 1 slip stitch in each. After completing, pick up the half loop of the chain, which is the insertion point of the slip stitch. Make 1 slip stitch. Place the starting yarn tail above the hook, and weave it in as you crochet. Consider this area as a long strip. Next, insert into the half loop of the adjacent chain. And make 1 slip stitch. After completing, make 1 chain. Then work 1 chain to begin. Then pick up this chain and make 1 slip stitch. Next, on the chain below, which is the insertion point of the previous slip stitch, make 1 slip stitch. Consider this area as a short strip. This round consists of alternating long strips and short strips. Refer to the chart to complete this round. After completing the last stitch, pick up the first chain and join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. Finally, make 1 chain to secure. Leave a yarn tail of about 20 centimeters and cut the yarn. Now, the crown is completed. Next, sew the finished crown onto the swan's head. Thread the sewing needle with the reserved yarn tail. Insert it into the top of the head. Sew around to secure firmly. Finish with a knot. Hide the yarn tail inside the swan. Trim off any excess tails. Now, the crown is finished. The accessory for the other swan's head is a top hat. First, take out the black acrylic bead. Apply glue to the back. Stick it onto the non-woven fabric. Next, take out a piece of gold thread. Follow along the edge of the acrylic bead. Glue a circle of gold thread onto the non-woven fabric. Once complete, cut out a circular piece of non-woven fabric, about 1 mm outside the edge of the black acrylic bead. Trim it to be smooth and round. Next, apply glue to the back of the non-woven fabric. Stick it onto the swan's head. Make sure it is securely glued. With this, the head accessory section for the swan is also explained. This completes the explanation of the swan's head accessories. Next, we will proceed with the assembly. First, assemble the music box. Insert the screw from the bottom of the box body into the hole in the box base. Twist it together. Then, attach the box cover to the body of the music box. On the back side of the box cover, apply glue at the position of the first round. Simply fit it over the box body. Securely glue it in the middle of the box top. Then apply glue to the backside of the 10th round as well. Secure it firmly to the box body. Use the same method to securely glue this entire round. After gluing, at the position between the 6th and 7th rounds of the box cover. Right here. Attach an oval-shaped acrylic. Apply glue to the backside of the acrylic. And stick it into the position. Secure it firmly to the box body. A total of 12 oval-shaped acrylic S need to be attached in this round. Use the same method to glue them all. Once completed, attach the 2 swans to the top of the box cover. The side with the ribbon bow is the front. Place the swan wearing the top hat on the left, and the other swan on the right. Apply glue to their bellies, and secure them firmly. This way, the assembly section is also complete. Up to this point, the making method for this music box has now been fully explained. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. We will see you in the next episode.